Information-fueled.
Opinion-driven.
This is Nashville's Morning News with Dan Mandis.
And so, my fellow Americans,
we talk news.
7:07, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Welcome on into your... Is it Wednesday? It is Wednesday, right?
It is Wednesday, yep.
Wednesday, May 14th of 2025. Hope you are doing well. And Brian Wilson joins us. It is Wednesdays with Wilson. Brian, you ever, when you were doing the morning show, you just get a little fuzzy in the head and like, what the hell day is it?
What day is it? No, I found that happens in retirement, though.
I bet
look around, I go, what day is today?
Well, that's exactly right.
But I have an alarm set to make sure I never miss Wilson Wednesday. So.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
Yeah,
well, as part of Wilson Wednesday, Brian, I've got to ask you if you've heard the Democrats sounding the alarm. On this plane from Qatar. So you've got to hold
Qatar. It's Qatar.
I'm just gonna.
To be honest with you, I mean, this is a long-running debate, but I will say that in Washington, at least in military circles, when they say, I just got back from Qatar.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear that all the time. I've heard presidents use Qatar. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't know what the proper is. Is it Qatar? Is it Qatar?
What do you use?
But I go Qatar.
You're going to do Qatar?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to say Qatar. Make everybody happy. That's what I'm going to do.
Sounds like you're chopping up somebody's guitar. I don't know.
All right, so talk about this plane.
Well, okay, listen, I have a theory. First of all, you got to realize with Donald Trump, it's not so much what he says, it's what he wants. Okay, so I'll give you an example. 145% trade tariffs on China. Does he really want to impose 145% trade tariffs on China? No. What does he really want? He wants China to come to the table. And so you have to look at not what he does, but what is his end game. And I think with this plane thing, remember, we have two essential Air Force Ones. Air Force One, anytime the president is on an aircraft, it's Air Force One. But he has two of them at his disposal, and that's so that they can keep one in maintenance and one up and running all the time, or that they have a backup most of the time. So, but they're old. They're 40 years old. And so when he was president last time, he said, we purchased a couple of 747s. I got them on a fire sale. We're going to reconfigure them, and we'll have new 747s with a brand new shiny what, Dan? Paint job. He wanted a different paint scheme for his 747s. Well, now he comes back and he's being told, well, Mr. President, those 747s, there are some real delays there, and you're not going to be able to get them. I think he says, okay, I'm going to have a plane painted the way I want it painted before I leave this office of presidency, or else. I think his real goal is to get them off dead center on those 747s that are already in process. I think that's what he wants. It's all about him having the new planes that he ordered and that he felt was a good deal, painted the way that he wanted to paint them. As soon as he left office, Biden came in and said, "Oh, we're gonna keep them the way that the other Air Force Ones are. We're not going to paint them up like you want them, Donald, just because that's the way you wanted them."
And Boeing, let's also not forget, and I know you know this, I've heard you talk about it, Boeing has been just terrible at getting these planes done. I mean, they're way, way, way over budget, and also incredibly
way behind schedule. And this happens with helicopters that presidents fly. This happens, with the planes. It's always been the case. These things take forever. I'm not sure, what can be done to retrofit this plane from Qatar anyway into a workable, functional Air Force One. One of the things that you don't think about, most Air Force Ones don't come with the ability to refuel air to air. You need that when you're the president of the United States. It's part of our plan because, if God forbid there be some kind of nuclear attack, he's got to get out on Air Force One and he has to stay airborne for a while.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it doesn't have, the refueling capability, then it's going to go through a major retooling. I don't know what's going to happen with regard to that, but I think it really is more about him trying to goad and embarrass other officials into going ahead and getting those Boeings done in a faster way that are already in process.
Brian, we had some really good numbers yesterday, and inflation not nearly where the Democrats hoped that it would be. What do you think happened?
Well, I mean, this is the big question. I mean, we were told time and time again. Any Democrat that could get a microphone would say, oh, the tariffs are going to increase inflation. It's going to be horrible. We had the lowest inflation in 4 years. Grocery prices down, fuel prices down, consumer prices down across the board in a big way. It hasn't been this good. The rate of inflation hasn't been this low since 2021. So what happened? Well, it's what we've been telling everybody. Don't freak out, because what you're not hearing from the mainstream media when they talk about, your 401ks and volatility and, this, that, and the other. What they're not telling you is that there are some counterbalancing things going on here that will bring, some prices down. So it's not going to just be, okay, we're going to do tariffs and that's it. We're going to do tariffs, but we're also bringing in more money into the coffers of the government. We're reducing regulation. We are doing everything we can to reduce energy prices. And you've heard me say for many years, nothing ripples through the economy in a good way or a bad way than energy prices. When they're low, it's good. When they're high, it's bad. And right now they're coming down. So, I mean, there are all these things at play that are keeping inflation in check, but he doesn't get any benefit for that. He doesn't get any credit for that. It's not just tariffs. There are other things going on there. And at the end of the day, he's being proven right, and the naysayers who said nothing good about this whole plan that Trump has are having to eat crow.
All right, coming up, Brian Wilson joining us here on Super Talk 99.7 at WTN. Coming up, it's
me as a watchdog for government accountability and transparency.
It's an Afton Bain update with Brian Wilson. Coming up next on Super Talk 99.7, time to check the roads. 15 as far as your weather goes today, a high of 84 and mostly cloudy. Appreciate you listening. 64 degrees here at WTN. So, Brian, you heard me play this soundbite.
Me as a watchdog for government accountability and transparency.
That is, of course, State Representative Afton Bain talking about how she is a watchdog for government accountability and transparency. Of course, completely silent during the 4 years of Joe Biden. Now she is incredibly angry and frustrated about ICE picking up the bad guys. And this story for the Democrats, Brian, seems to get worse and worse, because by the day we find out that the people that ICE picked up, they're actually worse than the Democrats are saying.
Yeah, it's a good case of rope-a-dope, isn't it? I mean, you get out there and defend these people, and then once we'll tell you what they did, and then you're going to look pretty stupid. And I think that has happened. Look, this state rep, she's a piece of work. First of all, she posts on her friend's video account because she can't keep her cell phone charged. So she has to post on her friend's Facebook account on her face. She's out, and she says in the on-camera appearance that she does, she says, we are distracting and delaying ICE. I don't know, distract, delay, to me, that's interference, and that's a violation of federal law. She's skirting perilously close to getting in trouble here because, you're not supposed to be able to interfere with immigration enforcement activities. I mean, and just to watch this video, she's preening, she's slicking back her hair, she's constantly rubbing her eyebrows to make sure that they're all the little hairs.
Where is this video, Brian?
It was the weirdest video.
Can you send it to me? Because I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's something else. It is. I'll see if I can find it and send it to you.
It was really quite the thing. Brian, this state representative Sandra Sepulveda also did the same thing, where she was live streaming on her Instagram feed, and she's following an ICE van around,
right,
and telling, basically telegraphing where the ICE van is, hoping to warn people that the ICE van might be looking for. I mean, I believe it does sound like they're aiding and abetting these illegal aliens.
Two levels of law here, Dan. There's state law, and I think that when the chief says we don't work with ICE, he is promulgating a policy. And the way I read the law, and I'm no lawyer, but the way I read the state law is that you cannot have a sanctuary city policy, even if you don't call it a sanctuary city. See, they're being clever by talking about how bad this is, but they're not using the term sanctuary city. They think that protects them. And the way I read the law says, well, a sanctuary city policy, if you adopt it, it doesn't matter whether you call it sanctuary city or not. I think they're in trouble there. So I think the mayor is walking a thin line. I think the police chief has stepped in it. I think this state representative have stepped in it, and they're going to find themselves, being brought up on charges one way or the other if they're not careful.
But isn't that, Brian? Do you think isn't that what they want?
Well, if that's what they want, then that's fine. But
Yeah.
you cannot interfere with the actions of a law enforcement officer. I don't care who it is. You can't do that. And so if you're interfering, then, I think that Tom Homan is right. You got a problem, and we're going to come after you. And I think they will. And if I were these folks in the city, I think I would just sort of back down a little bit on this, because you're defending people who are in many cases indefensible. And then second of all, you may run afoul of state law. See, the thing that city officials forget is it's a red state.
Yeah.
It may be an island of blue in Nashville, but it's a red state.
Yeah, but Brian,
And they don't remember that.
Brian, though, you used to live in Maryland, right?
Yes,
So
yeah.
you know the plight of Baltimore.
Right.
Where Baltimore, I mean, you probably watched it firsthand disintegrate, and yet the people of Baltimore, they still, and this is true all over the country, they still vote for the Democrat Party.
Yeah. I can't defend it. I don't understand it, but it seems to me that is what is done, that they just, it's maybe it's TDS. It's like anything he's for, we're going to be against.
John Fetterman.
Yeah, this is interesting, isn't it?
So, yeah, I mean, he's sounding more coherent than ever, and now you have the Democrats that are smearing him and saying that he's losing his mind.
Well, let me get this right. So when Biden was in office, we were told, we could see that he wasn't fine, but we kept being told by Democrats, oh, he's fine. Now we're being told, now that he's out of office, we were going to put him in a wheelchair. That's how bad it was. So, there's that. And now with Fetterman, when he was running, we thought, I don't know if this guy's up to the task of being a senator. And then as he got a little better, and he said he would, and he got better, what we found out was, he's more of a moderate than you might imagine. And now the Democrats, not because he's not able to function and do his job, simply because they don't like the positions that he holds, they're now saying he's a problem. So he was not a problem, now he is a problem, according to the Democrats. It's just the exact opposite of what went on with Trump, with Biden.
Well, speaking of which, I wanted to leave time to play this audio bite for you. Chuck Schumer, of course, all about the book that is coming out and Biden and all that. So, but this is Chuck Schumer on CNN.
You were in there, you saw him up close and personal. Did you really not have any idea that he was not fit to serve a second term?
Casey, we're looking forward. We have the largest Medicaid cut in front of us. We have the whole federal
You're
government
facing all
at
of this
risk.
because you lost a presidential election. And is that not Joe Biden's responsibility for deciding to run again?
We're looking forward.
That's it?
That's it.
Pay no attention to everything we've said before.
That's it.
We're moving forward.
Unbelievable. And part of this, and I'll have more on this coming up after the break, but, part of this is that you have all of these Democrats, including Chuck Schumer, that are saying they want to move forward. Well, that's fine. But the problem is all of the people that lied about this are still in power in the Democrat Party. So it's hard to move forward when the people that lied to you and lied to the American people face no ramifications, no accountability at all for clearly lying.
They're in an echo chamber. They hear from their own people, the hardcore people. They talk among themselves, and they're all on the same pattern, and they just can't believe that this guy is president. They just can't bring themselves to understand how this could possibly be the case. It's TDS. There's no doubt about it. And the fact of the matter is that we now know that certain things were true about Joe Biden that should be very very concerning to us, and they really do need to be discussed. I mean, if he wasn't up to the task, thank goodness we didn't find ourselves in a wartime situation.
Right. I mean, you're absolutely right.
Or that there was an attack against the homeland. He simply would not have been up to the task.
Nope. You're absolutely right. All right, Brian, you're retired now, but I did want to ask more of a personal question here. You know, things get, crazy when you sit in this chair, and, you need distractions. And so, when you were in this chair, did you have any kind of hobbies or anything to kind of get your mind off of things?
Well, for my hobby has always been guitar.
Yes.
Yeah, to play guitar, because I find, even though I am never going to be the guitarist that I dream of being, a Nashville level guitarist, I will never be. I just don't have the ability, but I have the desire.
Yes.
And for me, when if it's been a rough day, 15 minutes of playing guitar relaxes me to the point where I sort of let the issues of the day drift away. It's been very therapeutic for me over the years, and I truly love it. I try to play the guitar some every day.
And along those same lines, I've decided, Brian, to take up coin collecting. I thought the change would do me good.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Well, we went a long way for that. I didn't know what you were saying.
Brian, it's all in the setup.
Yeah.
It's all in the...
Brian, he waited an hour plus to tell you that joke.
So I told that joke in the 5:30.
He's been practicing.
And I said, I'm going to see if Brian will laugh at that joke.
Well, I'll laugh at any good corny joke, but that one's pretty bad, Dan.
But bad in a good way?
He was so excited, Brian. You have no idea.
Listen,
change is going to do you good.
Listen, I can break this out. That's not going to get too old by the end of the day.
Yeah, well, you know me. I have an affinity for the proper sound effect, and that is perfect for the news of the day.
Thank you. Brian Wilson, everybody, and we'll leave it there. Thank you, Brian. We'll talk to you again.
Talk to you later, man.
All right, man. See you later. Brian Wilson. All right, it is 7:25 on Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Joan, I don't know if you heard, but I got the official seal of approval from one Brian Wilson.
Oh, you did?
I sure did.
It's because he's there and we're here. You know what I mean?
He's in a better mood because he's at home in his jammies and his slippies and all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Joan, what's coming up?
Names and faces. DHS releases new information about the violent criminals now detained after Nashville traffic stops. Got those stories and more coming up here at 7:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.